Yo, what's up, y'all? This philosophical from the rap review room, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? Man, we got Raekwon's new album, The Emperor's New Clothes, review here. I got a couple thoughts on this. I'm thoroughly surprised. I'm thoroughly happy about this album. But definitely enjoyed this album. I'm gonna give my thoughts. I'm gonna give my review on each track through the track listing. So let's get it, y'all. We got Raekwon, The Emperor's New Clothes album. Let's get it. Got to the intro. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? I first want to thank everybody that has liked and subscribed to the page. Really appreciate it. I try to respond to all the comments, as this is a channel also that promotes a lot of up and coming underground artists, whether it be a track, album, or interview. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out. I first ask that you subscribe here. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Let me know a little bit about who you are. We can definitely get your music reviewed here. All right, y'all. So I'm going to be keeping the theme up here with Wu-Tang, right? A couple things I want to say here. Uh, about I say about maybe 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, Nas and Mass Appeal released albums that will be coming out this year. 7 albums that will be coming out this year, and I think the reviews were mixed. Right? Just for example, people were like, "Do we really want these albums?" You know, Slick Rick, Ghostface, Raekwon. I know I wanted a Mobb Deep album. I wanted that. Um, another, like I said, another Ghostface album. Let me actually pull up here the list because I don't want to be inaccurate here. Let's see. Um, here we go. Okay, so we got there were some albums, right? Nas, DJ Premier, I want that, right? Ghostface, Killer's album. Uh, you know, the way Ghostface has been rapping recently, I'm like, I'm all in, all in. You know, I didn't know what to expect from Raekwon. You know, I want to hear a Mobb Deep album. I heard Alchemist is attached to that. That's gonna be real interesting. De La Soul, interested to see what that's gonna sound like because lately I think they've been trying to get their music back on streaming, so it's going to be real interesting how that sounds. Big L, interesting. It's going to be interesting to hear that, and then Slick Rick album, right? So I want to say this, right? Uh, Raekwon, to keep going with the theme of Wu Tang because I feel like Wu Tang has been amazing this year, right? And I'm going to speak on that a little bit. But this is going to be my first time reviewing Raekwon on this album. I mean, on this channel. I apologize. Raekwon has a classic album in so many people's names, only built for Cuban links, right? Critically acclaimed. Um, it produced entirely by RZA, right? And I feel like this new album kind of he took that formula, which was smart, and did that on this new album, right? Uh, I feel like, and I'm gonna go through some of the track listing in a few minutes here. I feel like this album is so far the best project Master Pill has put out outside of the King's Disease albums. So you got the King's Disease albums. Then I think this project here is the best project I've heard. It's gonna be interesting to see what Ghostface does. I did not like that Ghostface first album. I felt like it wasn't. I I feel like earlier Mass Appeal albums, they were still trying to figure things out, but now I feel like they're starting to hit their stride a little bit. Right. I didn't know what to expect from Slick Rick. I felt like when I felt like the execution and kind of how that album was put together was put in the wrong hands. I feel like that could have been done a little bit better execution wise, as far as like Idris Elba executive producing that album. It just shows a little bit of how that album was constructed, right? So, and I didn't like not like the last Ghostface album, right? But I will say this Raekwon album really surprised me as far as I feel like outside of the King Disease albums and the Magic albums, I feel like this new Raekwon album so far is the best album out of Mass Appeal recently, right? So I want to say I just want to be able to kind of shout out who is this album. I want to make sure. Uh, I want to make sure that uh, shouting out the producers on this album, right? Um, let's see here, because I feel like we got multiple different producers as the album that's considered Raekwon's best was entirely produced by RZA. So, who produced this album? Let me look and see. I just want to double check here because I want to say, man, there's a sound change here that I felt like it's not giving me kind of who produced these albums. I was looking for kind of like track info. Here we go. Okay, so we got multiple different producers here. So it looks like Raekwon produced a couple tracks. We got, let's see who else we got here. Trilogy. Okay, Trilogy. We got a couple skits here. We got Slight Beats on here. Justice League. Yes, I should have said Justice League there. We got multiple Swiss Beats, right? Um, Rose Art, of course. We got some really underground artists here that I felt like Knots did a couple tracks on here. Frank G, of course. So we got a plethora of um, different artists from Knots to Swiss Beats did a track. Frank G, Raekwon produced a track. So let's get through let's get through the track listing here. Intro, simple, dope, really dope, really dope. I want to say here when I said that I feel like Raekwon kind of took the formula a little bit. He evolved it, he modernized it as far as only built for Cuban links, and did that here on his new album, uh, Emperor's New Clothes, which was I felt was smart. I felt was smart. Now, is Raekwon my favorite Wu Tang member? Not my favorite. Not my favorite. But I feel like lyrically, conceptually, he did really well on this album, right? So, like I said, the intro, dope. Bear Hill is a nasty beat, man. Nasty beat. I love this beat. Love the track. Love the track. Intro was good. Bear Hill, Pomegranate featuring Inspector Deck, Card to Fist. Inspector Deck is probably my uh outside of Method Man, is probably number two. I love Inspector Deck, right? Kill this. Veterans Only Billionaire skit, cool. Wild Corsesions, right? Featuring pretty much Griselda. I want to say this right now, right? I have yet to review a Griselda album, but I want to say these three artists are really killing it right now. This track is fire, fire, I've also spoken in circles of sometimes that Griselda's production, the coke rap and things like that, and Benny the Butcher, these guys are influenced by Raekwon, which I love. I love that, right? Um, I feel like this beat right here, it's just a banger. It's probably my number two favorite track on this album, right? Uh One Life. One Life featuring Stacy Barth is a banger. Best track on the album by far. By far. And I feel like, and I'm saying this because this album is going to probably be in my top albums of the year list. One Life is a banger, right? Love this track. I have this on repeat, have it on playlist. I love this track a lot. Um, we got the Barbershop Bully skit. Cool. Open Doors, I thought was cool. 600 School, again, oh my God. Ghostface is on a streak here of killing verses, all the way back to the Wu Tang track at our review. Check that out. Method Man, of course, again, killing tracks again. 600 School is a banger, banger. Ghostface, Method Man, Raekwon, all killed this, right? The guy that plans it's cool. The heavies cool. We got open office full beard. The Ometa. Now, I've spoken on this where there was supposedly, quote unquote, and Raekwon came out and said it wasn't true, right? He has to say that there was and this is a banger too, that there's an alternate Nas verse dissing Jim Jones. I didn't review it because, I'm kind of waiting until to see if this is legit and confirmed. Raekwon came out and did a live that spoke on, it's not true, it's not confirmed. And he spoke on a lot of hip hop culture today, which I kind of agree with. A lot of things that he said was saying that a lot of these artists are like pop and R&B, and they're trying to be, and the masses and the labels are trying to make them rappers, which is true, which is very true. So the rapper is kind of getting tossed to the side, which again, I spoke on that in the last video as far as how US rappers are being categorized versus UK rappers. But I kind of agree with that. But the Ometa featuring Nas, banger, banger. And if it is true that, not the alternate verse, that this is confirmed that it is true, that that verse is confirmed, I would definitely review that. But Nas killed it. Nas killed it. I wanted this Nas on Clip's album, but that's a totally different story, right? But really, really dope track. Get Out of Here featuring Ghostface. I like this track a lot. Again, Ghostface is killing this. The Sober Dose skit, cool. Deborah Nightwine. I wanna say something about this track. Right. I like the track. Uh it almost I don't know if I like the way Marsha Ambrosius sounds on this. I like Marsha Ambrosius on some tracks. I just something's a little off as far as the her voice on this. It doesn't sound very well on this. Uh, but I like Raekwon's verses on here. I like Raekwon's uh, uh, the song, the song and stuff. And Mac and Lobster, Ghostface again, killed it, killed it. Now, is this better than his previous project, Classic? I don't. I think it's a close second. I think. Let me know if you guys want me to do a listen through of that album. Only built for Cuban links. But I will say, I feel like the Emperor's New Clothes takes that same formula from Only Built for Cuban Links, modernizes it into kind of this modern take of what's going on right now. Modern storytelling with the drug. We're still getting the drug talk here. And now that I know that, that's kind of what Griselda and Benny the Butcher and all of them were kind of built on, the back of Raekwon, right? And you can even say that Only Built for Cuban Links 2, which is kind of his follow up albums, uh, Immortality. I think a lot of people felt that was a little bit of an underground record, and The Wild, which came out in 2017, no one really spoke about, are kind of just it doesn't stand up to the first Only Built for Cuban Links, right? But I do think this album is, like I said, the best album thus far. We're gonna see what Nas and DJ Premier does. We're gonna see how this Big L does. We're gonna see how Mob Deep does. We're gonna see new Ghostface album, the way he's been rapping. I wish we could get a new Method Man album, right? Maybe we'll see. But I do think this album is, of course, I wouldn't. I want to hear what you guys say in the comments. Is this better than Only Built for Cuban Links? Is it still Only Built for Cuban Links? Is this album better than his first album? I want to know what you guys think. I will say this album will be in my end of the year list. I love this album. I continue to go back and listen to this album, learning more about Raekwon. I'm enjoying this, and you can definitely hear the influence on this album for like the Ghostface and Griselda, Method Man killed this. I feel like the production's perfect on this. Conceptually, it sounds great. He sounds comfortable on these tracks, and I was thoroughly surprised, man. Really, 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 really dope album. It's gonna be on my end of the year list, man. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And I'm gonna give that album an 8.5, man. Giving this album an 8.5. I feel like this is a good album. I'm really liking this album. Um, really enjoyed this album. Let me know if you guys want me to do a listen through of the Only Built for Cuban Links album. Really interested in that. Do I think this new album is better? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I think Only Built for Cuban Links slightly better. It's a timeless classic. People still talk about it. We'll see about this new album. I think time does see how this goes through the test of time. Slightly, definitely his second best album. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. Really appreciate you guys hanging with me. Continue to like and subscribe. I'm on a roll to 1,000 subscribers. Also, if you're an up and coming artist and you want your music reviewed here, this information is also down in the description box. Definitely follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Let me know who you are. We could definitely get your music reviewed here. Really appreciate everybody that has hung with me, subscribed, like, comment. I try to respond to all the comments, y'all. I'm philosophical from the rap review room, y'all. I'm out, y'all. Peace.